All set. A lot of great stuff to take out of this game for our team. I'm excited for our opportunity to grow. Proud of our guys, where they responded to, to find a way to overcome some foul difficulty and get in the bonus really early. Also want to give Edwardsville a lot of credit for just the way they fought and battled. I thought their guards were really, really tough to guard and defend. Justin Lewis, proud of him. Just finding a way to be resilient and respond says a lot about his where his growth and where he is as a person. And then Oso, I'm really proud of him as well for being able to step up big for us. Tonight was not Kerr's night, but Oso came in and gave us a big lift.
Coach, you guys forced 24 turnovers. I'm sure you hit the deflection number you're looking for. You also mentioned the fouls. How did you think your team performed defensively tonight?
Not good enough. I thought, we had good activity early, forcing some of those turnovers. It was almost like our defensive possessions in the first half were put into two categories. We either turned them over or, I think they shot 60-some% from the field. They were able to get to the basket a lot. I don't think we did a good enough job guarding the ball. We'll watch the tape and look at the basketball specifics of it, but honestly, to me, it's your first game, and it takes a real maturity to say stopping them matters more to me than scoring on them. And I didn't think that we had that on all of our possessions. I thought we had that sometimes, but I thought we were a half step off on certain other possessions.
I know you want your team to put up a lot of threes, kind of a cold shooting first half. What's the conversation like with your guys? Are you just encouraging them to keep letting it fly? Yeah,
and some of it, Ben, is getting the right guys taking threes and the right guys taking the right shots. But I thought we got some good looks that we didn't make. I thought we had some guys with some nervousness. We talk about attacking closeouts. Shooting the three is one of the ways you can do that. I thought when we watch the tape, what we'll see is there's some closeouts where we could have shot and we didn't, and there's some closeouts where we shot and we really could have attacked and got in the paint. So that's not something as a coach that you want to micromanage, but you want to help the guys make the right decision, and that's an area where we got to grow.
Coach, Daryl looked like a veteran out there. He looked poised. When he was up here, he said that you talked to him at halftime going into the second half. What did you see out of him differently in the second half that really allowed your team to come out and pull out this victory tonight?
Yeah, I think the biggest key for Daryl is, really embodying who we want to be in terms of, an extension of our coaching staff, the way we want to approach defense, the way we want to communicate as a team. I think for Daryl, he's so hard on himself. Sometimes he spends too much time being frustrated or being upset about the last play that didn't go well or about the refs. I thought he did a lot of really good things, but what's exciting is he can be way better. On the defensive end, he's capable of so much. I'm hard on him because he's capable of doing so much. And then we got to, obviously keep him in the game and out of foul trouble. But offensively, he did some really good things. He got in the paint. He made a few threes. It's exciting for him because, again, there's a lot of room for growth still. But I thought he did, between him and Tyler, they were probably the most aggressive of our guys until Tyler got in foul trouble. I thought the foul trouble really hurt him mentally. When he came back in, he wasn't quite the same.
You mentioned nervousness not too long ago. Do you think your team generally looked nervous tonight? And then how do you kind of address that going forward in these next couple of games, especially that one-on-one day against U of I?
Well, we got another game first before that. So I think one of the biggest, don't take this the wrong way, but one of the biggest mistakes we could make would be focusing on that game. And obviously anyone external to our program has the luxury of doing that, but we don't. So it's about really tomorrow, improving tomorrow, watching the tape. What do you do about nervousness? You play more games. You get more experience. You spend more time out there in those type of situations. That's the best thing about tonight is our guys gained some experience in a relatively close game. 1-point game at the half, had to come in at halftime when, let's be honest, the majority of our guys individually and then us as a team weren't necessarily having the best game that we've ever had. So at those moments, you got to find a way to figure out, okay, here's what I need to do next. Here's how we can improve. All right, let's be as driven as we possibly can be to make this second half the best it can be. And I thought our guys did a lot of good things. So, we just go back to practice tomorrow, work on a lot of the things that we saw on the tape tonight, and then we focus on our next game.
Coach, despite a little foul trouble, Stevie Mitchell came off the bench tonight and made a pretty good impact offensively. What did you think overall about his performance tonight in his first collegiate game?
I thought he was great. I thought in terms of guys coming off the bench, him and Oso, they gave us a huge lift. I don't know if we win the game without those two guys. I thought he played with good poise for it being his first college game. We got to help him stay on his feet. He fell down a few times, but he did a great job attacking, made some nice passes, and I thought took care of the ball relatively well. There's a lot of things that he and the rest of our freshmen just don't know yet, and they don't even know that they don't know it. So that's our job as coaches, is to make sure that we coach them through those situations and help them learn. But his future's bright, as is the rest of our freshmen. Those other guys, it wasn't necessarily their night, but those guys have a bright future here.
You've been on Justin about getting his first collegiate double-double.
Yeah.
He got there tonight. But what'd you tell hm afterward?
I'm happy for him. I thought he showed really good response. Justin is a very emotional guy, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. He really cares. And I thought he did a really good job regulating himself during the game when, particularly in the first half, he didn't necessarily have his best half offensively, but I thought he hung in there. We talk about being lost in the fight, and I thought he was one of the better guys on our team with that. Thought we had some other guys that were, kind of caught up in some other things in their mind. But I thought Justin, he played like a guy who's played college basketball before, so that's a really good sign. And, hopefully with him getting a double-double, the goal is to do it again.
With Oso, you recruited him in high school. Did you see glimpses today of kind of what your vision was for him, just using his length on defense and being that rim runner on offense?
Yeah, I know his game's so much better now. It's really it actually is it's very humbling. Like I didn't know as much about, like I knew a fraction when we were recruiting Oso of what I know now about him, having been able to coach him through all these practices and over the last 6 months or so. He's got a very unique game. His best attributes are the way that he handles and passes the ball. That's very unique for a guy at 6'10", 6'11". I thought he made a couple really, really good toughness plays around the basket. He's got to keep getting better at doing that consistently. And just being a threat to catch and finish in there. He was 3 for 3 on the ones he had. There was a couple that he didn't catch that maybe could have been better passes. But, he gave us a big lift, and he scored 3 baskets all of last year. So, really for all of these guys, whether it's Justin, Oso, those guys, they're making strides relative to where they've been. And for us, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So this is a single step. It wasn't like a 100-yard step. It was more like a 3-yard run. But you know what? We get another down, to use a football analogy, and we get that on Friday. So I'm excited for our guys as long as we stay focused on growth. Thank you.